are putting on a function, an event, an online event next Saturday called Ignite and Innovate. We're featuring some women innovators in real estate. And I was so happy to meet Kristen at the early part of this year. Oh no, it was last year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this has been a blur. Anyway, we're going to talk to her about boutique hotel event venues. She has a really unique model that she started in Austin, Texas. Austin, hot, 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 right? She started in Austin, Texas. Now, I actually don't know how to describe what it is that you have, other than it's beautifully executed. It's really an amazing boutique hotel, but it's an event venue as well. So tell everybody like how you came up with this concept and how you actually, put it into action.
Yeah, so we're an Airbnb style hotel, focuses on large groups. So each one of our units has 4 to 5 bedrooms, a living room, and a kitchen. And the interesting thing about our venue is that the living rooms are actual venue space, and they can open up to each other to make one massive event venue. So you could have weddings, bachelorette parties, corporate retreats, kind of anything in this particular space. And it's so modular that it can open up and be whatever you need it to be.
It's super versatile, and that's the unique thing about it. And then it also has some community areas. I just got to tell you, I've been up on the rooftop. They have a rooftop deck that is just gorgeous up there for having an evening cocktail or a reception, right?
Yeah. We've done quite a few weddings, quite a few corporate groups. We actually do a lot of film up there as well because we are overlooking the skyline. We really lucked out on our view.
Yeah. Okay. So for anybody who's interested in just even looking this up, it's called In Cahoots, and you can go to incahoots.com. It's in Austin, Texas. Now, who are some of the people that you're finding are frequently using this event venue? Hotel event venue.
It's really anyone. When we originally built it, we were looking to mostly work with bachelor and bachelorette parties, but it's turned out to be a great space for tons of people. So every week we have different corporate groups that are either having corporate meetings or sometimes holiday parties where they bring in private chefs into the kitchens, or we do tons of corporate trainings. And then, of course, on the weekends, we either have bachelorette parties or weddings, just depending on the week.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, not only can you have your bachelorette party there, depending on how big that is, maybe, you're just having several girls there. You can go, there's a community area that has a kitchen and a living room, and then you go upstairs and there's everybody's bedrooms, but it's still kind of community oriented. So it's really fun to kind of see the layout and how it works. I mean, it really works for everybody. How did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so we bought our first home, my husband and I, in 2012. It's a 4-story townhome on 6th Street in Austin. And right when we closed, we were approached by MTV to start doing artist interviews and do filming in our location. And we let them do that. And then shortly after we were getting married, we happened to hear about Airbnb. So we threw it up on Airbnb. We were the first large group Airbnb in Austin. So we kept doing that. It actually turned out it was so successful. It paid for our honeymoon. And then every weekend we would pack up and go to a hotel for a year and a half until we had enough money to buy a new house.
Okay. I just like that. Okay. I want to just capitalize on that just for a minute there, because, we're capitalizing on innovators, and, not a lot of people would go, okay, well, let's just go to a hotel for a year and a half.
It was pretty crazy.
I love the fact that you just think out of the box like that.
It was pretty crazy. They were paying me a lot of money to not live in my house every weekend. And it was funny because everyone thinks about it. My mom was always like, well, isn't it weird that you're leaving your clothes there? And it's like, well, I just close the closet and they pay me enough that if they steal my clothes, I don't care. For a year and a half, we would go to a hotel. And that was great. We eventually moved into a different house and we were able to turn that into like a full-time rental. But in the meantime, our competitors started popping up and they were buying homes in neighborhoods, whereas we were like on 6th Street where there's a lot of noise anyway. And so the community, rightfully so, got really upset with these large group Airbnbs, because if you can imagine living next door to a bachelor party, that is always a bachelor party. It's like that movie Neighbors. And so
Yeah.
we thought, this is so profitable and we're doing so well, but it really should be an actual hotel. Like we should build this out and build it on 6th Street, where it's noisy and where everyone ultimately wants to be anyway.
Mhm.
Um, and start directing, give people kind of a legal channel to be hosting their bachelor and bachelorette parties. And so we built out our prototype in Austin, and it's 5 units, but each unit has 5 bedrooms, a living room, and a kitchen.
It's really cool. And I love the fact that you're really community oriented. You're getting the neighbors involved. And so tell people a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, from the beginning, it's been about doing this really responsibly. So we decided to build this in an area where we can get a hotel license. We are actually a hotel. The city does, hotel inspections on the building. It is built like a hotel with, it's fully sprinklered. So it's a different construction type. But then we also get involved with community events too. One, we do donate the space quite often to host nonprofits for meetings or for events. And then also we've done things like when Austin froze over and everyone lost power and water for a week or two. As soon as the hotel had power and water, we were donating the space for anyone to come in and use the hot showers. And also, our coffee shop had highly filtered water, so hospitals were actually coming in to pick up water from us. Wow. It was a pretty crazy time.
See, that's really cool. And I know that you really love that community. You were telling me how some women-owned businesses were moving in next door to kind of create even more synergy in that block. Which I think this is how women think, right? How can I create more synergy? How can I, be more community oriented, more collaborative for a win-win for everyone on the block, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the more that our neighbors win and the more that we can support each other, just the better our businesses will do anyway. It's not competition. It's about, the synergies that we can create.
That's so fabulous. Now, I know that you are onto a new adventure. So I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to tease people because if they want to hear about your new adventure, they're going to need to come to Ignite. So anybody that's out there that wants to hear about a new adventure that Kristen is in, go to www.igniteandinnovate.com and grab your ticket for Saturday. She's going to be talking about yet another venture that she's going into, which is totally unique. And what that adventure is bringing her, those things that she's having to deal with. Is there any last parting words that you want to say as an innovator in this space? Anything you want to say to women to encourage them?
Oh, well, it's hard. It's a long road. It took me 5 years just to get this crazy design approved by the city to be able to construct it. But and you can really do it. I have no experience in development or real estate. Now this is my life.
I think that's one of the most unique things. I hope everybody heard that. She has no experience in real estate. She just thought of this idea and decided to go for it. And it's taken a long time and she's learned along the way, but she continues, right? So there's that word of advice to everybody. Keep on keeping on.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, Christian. So if you're interested in getting your tickets, go to igniteandinnovate.com. I'll put the link in the chat. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank